An oracle reached him about the town of Buto, which said, 6 years only shalt thou live upon the earth, and in the 7th thou shalt end thy days. Mycerinus, indignant, sent an angry message to the oracle, reproaching the god with his injustice. My father and uncle, he said, though they shut up the temples, took no thought of the gods, and destroyed multitudes of men, nevertheless enjoyed a long life. I who am pious, am to die so soon? There came in reply a second message from the oracle. For this very reason is thy life brought so quickly to a close. Thou hast not done as it behoved thee. Egypt was fated to suffer affliction 150 years. The 2 kings who preceded thee upon the throne understood this. Thou hast not understood it, my Mycerinus. When this answer reached him, perceiving that his doom was fixed, had lamps prepared, which he lighted every day at eventime, and feasted and enjoyed himself unceasingly both day and night, moving about in the marsh country and in the woods, and visiting all the places that he heard were agreeable sojourns. His wish was to prove the oracle false by turning the nights into days, and so living 12 years in the space of 6. 134. He too left a pyramid, but much inferior in size to his father's. It is a square, each side of which falls short of 3 plethra by 20 feet, and is built for half its height of the stone of Ethiopia. Some of the Greeks called it the work of Rhodopis, the courtesan, but they report falsely. So Herodotus says the Greeks gave a false report about Egypt. And he is from Harlequinasis, and he's going to give you the truth in Herodotus. Because the other Homer, the Homeric writings, Homer is the father of lies. The Greeks are called the liars. The Greek call lies. Aesop's fables, Hellenism is a lie. It's false reports. It's a false report. So Rhodopis was a lie. Herodotus says they report falsely. It seems to me that these persons cannot have any real knowledge who Rhodopis was. Otherwise, they would scarcely have ascribed to her a work on which uncounted treasures, so to speak, must have been expended. Rhodopis also lived during the reign of Amasis, not of Mycerinus, and was thus very many years later than the time of the kings who built the pyramids. She was a Thracian by birth, and was the slave of Iadamon, son of Hephaestus of Samian. Aesop, the fable writer, was one of her fellow slaves. It's like I said, Aesop fables, those are the liars. The Greek writers are a bunch of liars. Aesop's fables, Homer is the father of lies. He wrote the Greek histories in 800 BC, and they were a bunch of goddamn lies about these metamorphic gods that the Greeks supposedly came from. When they come from the Egyptians, and they got all their names from the gods from Egypt, from Kemet. So, Aesop belonged to Iadamon as a slave, and he proved by many facts, among others by this, when the Delphians, in obedience to the command of the oracle, made proclamation that if anyone claimed compensation for the murder of Aesop, he should receive it. The person who at last came forward was Aedamon, grandson of the former Iadamon, and he received the compensation. Aesop, therefore, must certainly have been the former Iadamon's slave. 135. Rhodopis really arrived in Egypt under the conduct of Xanthias the Samian. She was brought there to exercise her trade, but was redeemed for a vast sum by Charaxus, a Mytilean, the son of Scamandronymus, brother of Sappho, the poetess. After thus obtaining her freedom, she remained in Egypt, and as she was very beautiful, amassed great wealth for a person in her condition. Not, however, enough to enable her to erect such a work as this pyramid. Anyone who likes may go and see to what the 10th part of her wealth amounted, and he will thereby learn that her riches must not be imagined to have been very wonderfully great. Wishing to leave a memorial of herself in Greece, she determined to have something made the like of which was not to be found in any temple, and to offer it at the shrine at Delphi. So she set apart a tenth of her possessions and purchased with the money a quantity of iron spits, such as are fit for roasting oxen whole. Wherefore she made a present to the oracle. They are still to be seen there, lying of a heap, behind the altar which the Chians dedicated, opposite the sanctuary. Naucratis seems somehow to be the place where such women are most attractive. First, there was this Rhodopis of whom we have been speaking, so celebrated a person that her name came to be familiar to all the Greeks. And afterwards, there was another called Arcadice, notorious throughout Greece, though not so much talked of as her predecessor. Charaxus. After Ramsamine, Rhodopis returned to Mytilene and was often lashed by Sappho in her poetry. But enough has been said on this subject of this courtesan. 136. Mycinerus. After Mycinerus, the priest said Asychis ascended the throne. He built the eastern gateway of the temple of Vulcan. That's the Greek word or the Roman word for Ptah. Ptah, the gateway of the temple of Ptah, which in size and beauty far surpasses the other three. Start right there. So that's all he says about Mycinerus or Minkari, whose sarcophagus was on another ship that was sunk. And the British were trying to transport his coffin lid in 1838 on a ship called the Beatrice, and it sunk in Cartagena, Spain. Somewhere, and that's one of the mysteries that we need to find, because Minkari is the pyramid builder, the third pyramid. Okay, this is him right here. So I have enmity for these people. The British, the European Union, baby. We got enmity. We got great enmity for you. We have the right to be angry too. We got very good reasons to be angry with these people. So, as Khafra or Khephren lived a very long time. This is supposed to be Cheops, Khufu. King Khufu. That's Mycinerus, Min. Mycinerus. These are the three pyramids. This is a very good book on Egypt. It tells me everything too. about the same thing. This is what it says about the Sphinx. I drive away the wicked from your tomb, carrying stone from a nearby no Cheops or Khufu builders left it a ragged old crop, but Kefarin sculptures shaped the old crop into the huge and brooding sphinx, a royal beard and a royal headdress, with its symbolic cobra once marked the head as that of a king, probably Kefarin himself, or Kafara. A lion's body evokes an ancient belief that lions were guardians of sacred places. The words above from a ladder and far smaller sphinx may well speak of all of its kind, sprawling 240 feet from hunch to fore paw. The colossal image probably was once plastered and painted. Time and sandstorms have gnawed its flesh from antiquity. Benefactors have cleared engulfing sand and patched the monolith with blocks of stone. It's talking about the Great Sphinx. Now this is a great book on this same subject. About the pyramid builders, the fourth dynasty. How they built the pyramids. Very good source of information. We have a real good reason to have enmity for these people. Another thing is this capstone right here. They took this gold. They took the gold off the Great Pyramid because the pyramids, all three pyramids, once had gold capstones over the top of them. And they were stolen by British too. The Great British have them hidden somewhere, maybe in Guildhall, London. It's hidden though. Who is the Queen of Elizabeth II? She knows something about that. That's probably why she is the wealthiest woman in the world. So, stones skid skyward on a mountain of bricks. On a massive ramp of sun-baked bricks and rubble, teams hold the heavy blocks to the rising pyramids. Some laborers carry water to slide the mud surface. Others carry timbers to break the wooden sledges lest they slip back when haulers pause. Stonecutters fit the blocks in a staging area below. When the masons position them above, aided in all the courses by a brick catwalk that jackets the structure as a pyramid catwalk and a ramp rise together. A gilded pyramidion tops off years of work. Months more remain as workers, some on scaffolds, smooth the slant-faced casing stones as they work downward. Ramp and catwalk are returned brick by brick. The Nile. They was telling you how they built the pyramids. Right there. Telling you how they built the pyramids. Sixth dynasty. Right there. Wow. So we have a real good reason to have enmity for these people, man. I mean, when you see all of the treasure of Great Britain, when they had the British mandate over Egypt, and they took all the treasures out of Egypt, they made terrible mistakes. They took one of the obelisks of King Tutmosis to Vatican Rome, and when it was being transported, they dropped it and broke it. And that's why the annals of the kings of Egypt in the 13th through the 18th dynasty are misconstrued because it was on that obelisk that is in the Vatican Rome. They dropped it. It had the historical record written on it. All the kings of Egypt was on that. And they somehow dropped it and broke it, and